Azari, and this is Small Quest, my quest cape Ultimate Iron Man. Together, we're going to complete every quest in Old School RuneScape in the hardest way possible, with only 28 inventory spots. Our final goal? Complete Dragon Slayer 2 and get our quest cape. We just missed it because I wasn't paying attention, but there is total level 100. You can see I'm using a bronze spear and beating the ever-loving Christ out of some chickens. Using this to just do some really low-level cooking training and fire making and wood cutting. So just working through some low-level skilling right now. I wasn't recording because I'm an idiot and I'm just grinding smithing, which is very fun. But I killed it, but I got a black beat. So 1 down, 3 to go. Let's fucking go. Our first quest today brings us just north of Taverley to a stone circle where we find a druid named Kakamix. We ask him for a quest, and he explains to us that the stone circle just south of Varrock used to belong to the good druids, but was taken over by dark wizards. He then tells us to speak with his compatriot Sandfew, who we go and find on the 2nd floor of the Herblore shop in Taverley. Sandfew tells us that in order to help, we'll have to find a handful of raw meats, place them in the Cauldron of Thunder, and return them to him. With those, he'll be able to perform a ritual to purify the stone circle in Varrock. We did a little bit of prep work on our way over and procured some raw beef from the farms around Lumbridge. After doing that, we went behind Lumbridge Castle and killed a giant rat, giving us some raw rat meat. Then we headed just southeast of Varrock and found a bear, which we safe spotted behind some bushes and threw over 100 bronze knives at it until it was finally dead. The last raw meat to procure was that of a chicken, so we headed into Falador Castle, found the one chicken chilling in the courtyard, and murdered him dead. With all of this meat in tow, we headed to the Taverley dungeon, ran past a couple of skeletons who did not have our best interests in mind, and forced our way into the room of the Cauldron of Thunder. We dip each piece of meat in, enchanting it, and then head back to Sandfew in Taverley. After giving him all of the meat, he tells us to go back to Kakamix, which we do. He thanks us for our service and rewards us with our quest rewards, which are 4 quest points, access to the Herblore skill, and 250 Herblore XP. As an added bonus, this gets us directly to level 9 Herblore, which is fantastic. I hate grinding this skill. Our second quest of the day leads us just south of Falador to the city of Rimington. There, we find a witch named Hetty, who, when we speak to her and ask for a quest, offers to help us get more in touch with our dark side to learn more about the black arts. She tells us she's going to make a potion that she needs 4 ingredients for: a rat's tail, a piece of burnt meat, an eye of newt, and an onion. Thankfully for us, we happen to be carrying 3 of those 4 things. We had procured burnt meat by trying to cook it on the rooftop of Lumbridge Castle and failing miserable, an eye of newt in Port Sarim, and an onion from a patch of onions. Thankfully for us, whoever owns this little house in Rimington doesn't take very good care of it, and it's running rampant with rats. Killing one gives us a rat's tail, and we take all of these things back to Hetty. Hetty puts all these things into a cauldron for us and tells us to drink up, which we do. It makes us feel a little strange, but it does give us our quest reward, which is 1 quest point and 325 magic experience. We are taking a small interlude from questing to do a couple parts of this medium clue scroll. The first part brings us to MacGruber's Woods, where we check some boxes that were indicated by our clue. Inside we find another clue scroll. This one is an anagram for a name, which leads us to a man on Karamja. This man's name is Luthus, which honestly sounds like somebody bit their tongue trying to say Lucas, but we'll get past that. And he gives us another clue scroll. Thanks for nothing. There it is, level 10 edgy. Let's go. Our next quest is Waterfall Quest, which takes us to the north of West Ardo. to Almera's house at the northeast top of Baxtorian Falls. When we arrive there and speak to Almera, she tells us that she's worried about her son, who is currently down on the falls, searching for treasure. She asks us to check in on him, so we head out back, take raft down the river, crash horribly, and eventually end up talking to her son, little Timmy. Now, little Timmy thinks that there's treasure somewhere in the falls, and that we're another nasty treasure hunter. He's not right, but he's not wrong, because we will be very soon. We ignore everything Timmy has to say, use our rope to head a little bit further down the waterfall, and find ourselves a door nestled away just underneath. When we try to enter, the waterfall pushes us off, and we find ourselves washed up on shore, cajoled at by a strange man thinking that we're some sort of treasure hunter, which we aren't. Yet. This strange man tells us to speak to Hadley, who is a tourist information guide working at the Tourist Information Center. He doesn't want to tell us much of anything because he's not very nice, so we just go upstairs and raid all of his bookshelves. Eventually we find a book on the history of Baxtorian. This book gives us a bunch of information about Galariel, her history with the gnomes, and a bunch of other random miscellaneous things that honestly we don't care about. What we do find out though is that Galariel had a pebble that she really loved, and that pebble ended up with a gnome. So, in all of our wisdom, we head to the south into the Tree Gnome Village and make our way through the hedge maze. Eventually, we find our way into the Tree Gnome Village dungeon, find a strange-looking key in some weird boxes, and free a gnome named Golry. Golry says that we can have whatever we want from the room. He doesn't really care. He pretty much just wants to leave. And after rummaging through the stuff, we find Galariel's pebble. This pebble has a very strange power insofar as it lets us get into Galariel's tomb. However, Galariel is very against war and fighting, so even with the pebble, her tomb won't open for us if we're carrying any weapons. This includes runes, armor, that sort of thing. So, as Ultimate Iron Man, we throw everything on the ground and dive into the tomb. In a chest, we find Galariel's amulet, and in her coffin, we find her ashes. After popping out of the tomb, we pick up all the things that we threw on the ground and make our way back to the top of Baxtorian Falls. So we want to head back down the waterfall again this time. But with the necklace and urn, we can get into the waterfall dungeon. Inside of here, we find quite a handful of very dangerous monsters. Doing our best not to die, we head to the east and grab a key out of a box. And then we head to the west, sprint past some fire giants who are doing their best to make sure that we do not survive, and head into a room with a handful of pillars and a chalice in the center, along with two statues, one of Galariel and one of her husband. We brought some runes with us specifically for this portion, and we use one of each water, earth, and air rune on each pillar. Then we take the necklace that we had been wearing on our way in and place it on the statue of Galariel. And lastly, we take Galariel's ashes and pour them into the chalice. That reveals the secret treasure that was stashed away here and left in that chalice, and we are rewarded with our quest completion. This gives us 1 quest point, 13,750 EXP in both strength and attack, 2 diamonds, 2 gold bars, and 40 mithril seeds. This is like a lot of experience. It brings us to 30 strength, which gives us the ability to use Adamant Warhammer is great, and 31 attack. That is such a massive jump. But honestly, we'd love to see it. Mwah, beautiful, fantastic. Get me the hell out of here. Finally, we've bought a house, which means we should be able to put this lamp on construction. I've been carrying this thing around since X marks the spot, And I am happy to have it out of my inventory. 300 construction EXP bumps us immediately to level 4 construction. Fantastic. That is money saved. All right, let's go. We got an exam random. We love to see the free EXP. We are also going to put this on construction. Honestly, most of our EXP randoms will probably go on construction just to try to save us any amount of money. And there is 20 Agi. Fantastic. We're going to stop running circles around Draenor Village, and we are going to go train up our defense. Because we're looking a little lopsided here. So I'm going to go ahead and go hit stuff until I'm level 30 defense. I like to just get 30 base across there. Maybe train up ranged and maybe a little magic while I'm at it. Yo, we have a yellow bead. Let's go. That imp coming in clutch. Oh, another EXP random. Fantastic. Hello, Mr. Genie. Give me that lamp. We're going to put this on construction. There's another 40 construction EXP. Not a level. Oh, no, it is level. Let's go. Level 5 construction. We're making it. We're making places in the world. And there it is. 30 defense. We are now base 30 in our melee stats, which is fantastic. Thank you, Waterfall Quest, for doing most of that. But that'll be nice. Now if we get mithril gear, adamant gear, we can actually use that. Let's go. We're just throwing daggers at some chaos druids, so we take these EXP randoms. All right, fantastic. We are going to put this on construction. Our next quest is going to be a fast one, so try to keep up. We're heading to the Wizard's Tower, just to the southwest of our castle. After climbing up too many flights of stairs, we arrive at the top, where we find a wizard, Mizgog. Mizgog's complaining that he's having a little bit of trouble. One of the other wizards, Wizard Greyzag, summoned a bunch of imps, and these imps have been a real pain in his ass. They've been running around and stealing a whole bunch of things from him, including some of his precious beads. He wants us to get them back. Well, funnily enough, we've already found all of them. When we tell him this, he accuses us of stealing his beads, as if we would do something so audacious. We definitely would. When we give them back, he takes a moment to verify they are real and then rewards us with our quest rewards, which is 1 quest point, 875 magic experience, and an amulet of accuracy. I feel incredibly dumb because I forgot to start my replay buffer. I've had OBS running for a while now and I just forgot to turn it on. But we just completed our medium clue scroll, which brought us to the northern part of the Treenong village. Treenong Stronghold. Sorry, it's the other one. And inside of it was an adamant dagger, 8 noted lobsters, and an adamant full helm. And honestly, like, beautiful upgrade over our bronze med helm. We look just gorgeous. Just incredible. And that just means we only have this beginner clue scroll left, so cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the end of the video. I am Post Ari. I have just finished doing all the editing for this video, cutting everything down. Trying to make it as enjoyable as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave feedback. I love to hear more. I do have a question for you as well, though, while I show you the progress we made on the account, kind of where we're sitting at the end of this recording session. Do you want me to show you more of the progression of the account, more of the levels on the skills and that sort of thing as we get higher? Because as we move further into the quest, things are going to slow down a lot. Right now, I'm able to kind of just blow through quests very quickly. It's not difficult to do a quest that has almost no like initial requirements, right? So would you like to see more of the traditional Ultimate Iron Man experience, where I would show, you know, some of my grinding ideas and that sort of thing? Please let me know down below. That'd be wonderful. I'm gonna keep rambling for a little bit, so feel free to leave if you're not interested in the behind the scenes stuff, but this is my first Ultimate Iron Man. I don't have yet a grand scheme, grand picture of how I'm going to accomplish everything. What I do know, though, is that this is something I want to have with me for a long, long time. This is a project I want to carry with me over months and months and months to really be something that I can develop into a beautiful product for you. And part of that, I think, is really sharing both the experience of the quest, which is the main focus of everything, but also the how we get there. Especially when we start looking at some of the later quests where we need a great deal of things, like, even Cold War, which is relatively early. We need 34 construction, 30 crafting, 30 agility, 15 thieving, and 10 hunter. Just how we're going to accomplish gathering these requirements, as well as any items we need in the quest, is something I might want to share with you. And if you'd like to see that, please let me know. That would be wonderful. But if not, if this really should be focused purely on the quests, then know that early on it's going to be very easy for me to push out a lot of content, because really there's a lot of early quests that are super easy to do. But as we get further and further and further, things will slow down. I think what we'll do is we'll probably focus pretty heavily on the quests in the early game, do a lot of voiceover, a lot of making sure that everything is nice and prim and pristine. And then as we get further in and we get to some of these later quests, and like we're prepping for like the completion of Fairy Tale Part 2, or we're prepping for the completion of, God forbid, like Song of the Elves. I have to finish Morning Ends Part 2, which has a bunch of other requirements. 70 agility, 70 construction, 70 farming, 70 herbivore, 70 hunter, 70 mining, 70 smithing, 70 wood cutting. These are going to require a lot of time. Also combat at level 90, so we're going to 95, we're going to be grinding a lot, right? But thank you all so much for watching. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and have a wonderful day.